For 12 million years, the galactic sovereignty had ruled the stars without question. Their empire stretched across 4,000 worlds, encompassing tens of thousands of species. They had watched civilizations rise and fall like waves upon a cosmic shore. They had seen stars die and new ones be born, and they believed, with the absolute certainty of the ancient and powerful, that they understood exactly how the universe worked. They were catastrophically wrong. The Crystal Throne Room. Supreme Chancellor Vorath sat upon his throne of living crystal on the council world of Nexar Prime. His body was long and serpentine, covered in scales that shifted color with his mood. Right now they displayed calm blue-green, the color of mild curiosity. Before him floated a holographic image of a small blue planet, third from an unremarkable yellow sun. "Tell me again what you found," he commanded the observer kneeling before him. The observer was a Karani, a species known for patience and perfect memory. Her 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "The planet is called Earth by its inhabitants, Supreme Chancellor. The dominant species calls itself humanity. They have existed for approximately 300,000 of their years, though civilization emerged only recently." "And their technological development rate?" Vorath prompted. The observer hesitated. This was the part that disturbed her. "Unprecedented, Chancellor. They went from basic tools to nuclear weapons in mere thousands of years. They developed chemical rockets to orbital stations in less than 50 years. At their current rate, they will achieve faster-than-light travel within 2 centuries. Vorath's scales flickered yellow, the color of interest. "Fascinating. And their society, their temperament." She waved her hand. The hologram changed, showing images that made several council members gasp in horror. Cities burning, soldiers marching, weapons of terrible destruction being deployed against members of the same species. "They war among themselves constantly," the observer continued, her voice tight. "They have fought thousands of conflicts in their recorded history, hundreds of millions killed by their own kind. They create weapons not for defense alone, but for what they call deterrence. The threat of such terrible destruction that no enemy would dare attack." "Barbaric," whispered Councillor Methus, a delicate being of crystalline structure. "Indeed," Vorath agreed, "but we have civilized barbaric species before. We removed aggression from their genes. We made them peaceful, compliant, productive." "Supreme Chancellor," the observer said carefully, "there is more." The hologram changed again. This time it showed different scenes. Athletes pushing their bodies past breaking points, scientists working through exhaustion, soldiers throwing themselves on explosive devices to save companions, ordinary people running into burning buildings to rescue strangers. "They have a capacity for violence unlike anything in our records," the observer explained, "but they also possess an equally strong capacity for what they call sacrifice. They will endure pain, suffering, even death for causes they believe in. They form bonds that override survival instincts. They experience emotions with an intensity our psychologists cannot fully comprehend." "You make them sound almost admirable," Vorath observed. "You make them sound dangerous, Chancellor. A species this young, this aggressive, this unpredictable, if they reach the stars unchecked, they could destabilize everything we have built." Silence fell over the chamber. Then Vorath arose from his throne, his scales shifting to deep purple, the color of decision. "Send an ambassador," he commanded. "Give them the choice we give all primitive species. Submit to genetic modification and join the sovereignty as peaceful members, or face the consequences of refusal." "And if they refuse, Chancellor?" Vorath's scales went black, the color of finality. "Then we do what we have always done. We purge them." First contact. Ambassador Kelvar of the Tarathi was chosen for the mission. His species had been so peaceful for so long they had no memory of ever being anything else. He had handled dozens of first contacts. He was confident this would be no different. When his ship arrived at Earth's solar system, he expected awe, terror, worship, something appropriately primitive. Instead, his communication systems immediately lit up with thousands of signals. The humans had detected his arrival within seconds and were already trying to communicate. More surprising, they deciphered his mathematical language in less than an hour and responded with actual words. He proceeded to Earth, where he met a delegation of human leaders. They called their organization the United Nations. Their leader was a woman named Secretary General Ayana Okonkwo, tall with dark skin, graying hair, and sharp, intelligent eyes that showed no fear. "Welcome to Earth," she said. "We have many questions." "I have something more important than answers," Kelvar replied. "I have an offer that will determine the fate of your entire species." He explained clearly. The galactic sovereignty rules this region of space. They maintain peace through strict control. Aggressive tendencies are removed through simple genetic modification. Humanity could join galactic civilization, peaceful, cooperative, safe. "And if we refuse?" Okonkwo asked, her voice calm. "Then you will be purged," Kelvar stated simply. "The sovereignty has done this before. Species that cannot be civilized must be removed for the safety of all others. You have 1 month to decide." He expected panic, desperate bargaining, fear. Instead, Okonkwo simply nodded. "We will discuss your offer and give you our answer. In the meantime, please enjoy our hospitality." The month of observation. Kelvar spent the month observing humanity. What he saw disturbed him more than any intelligence report. He watched their Olympics, a planetary ritual where they pushed their bodies to absolute limits for symbolic metal discs. He saw athletes collapse from exhaustion, only to rise and continue. He saw losers embrace winners with genuine joy. He watched their entertainment, stories filled with violence, but also heroism and sacrifice. Their heroes weren't the strongest, but the ones who refused to give up. Their villains weren't monsters, but people who had lost hope. He read their history and was horrified. Wars killing millions, weapons that could destroy their planet, atrocities beyond comprehension. But he also read about people who stood against evil at the cost of their lives. Soldiers who died protecting strangers, citizens who hid refugees knowing discovery meant death. And he watched their children, wild, uncontrolled, constantly testing boundaries, fighting and crying and laughing with exhausting intensity. But he also saw how fiercely parents protected them, how humans would literally die for their offspring without hesitation. When the month ended, Kelvar returned to the United Nations Assembly. The chamber was packed. Billions watched through broadcasts. Okonkwo stood at the podium. Behind her hung the flags of every human nation, symbols of division, but also of unity. "Ambassador Kelvar," she began, "we have considered your offer. We have debated it in every language, discussed it in every forum, and we have reached a unanimous decision." Kelvar leaned forward. Perhaps they had seen reason. "Our answer is no." The chamber erupted, not in panic, but in cheers. Representatives stood and applauded. Outside, crowds roared. "You don't understand," Kelvar said, voice rising. "The sovereignty has never been defeated. We have purged hundreds of species. You cannot win." "Perhaps not," Okonkwo agreed. "But we will not submit. We will not allow you to change who we are. Our aggression, our passion, our capacity for violence, these are part of what makes us human. So are our love, creativity, and refusal to give up. You cannot take one without destroying the other." "Then you choose extinction." Okonkwo smiled. It was not pleasant. "We choose to fight. And you should know, Ambassador, we're very good at that." Scene: the Purification Fleet. The sovereignty's response was swift. The Purification Fleet, 10,000 warships, each carrying enough firepower to sterilize a planet, was deployed. They hadn't been used at full strength for over 1,000,000 years. Fleet Commander Thexus was given command. His species had been among the first to join the sovereignty. He had served for 3 centuries and never known defeat. "How long until we reach the target system?" he asked. 14 standard days, Commander. The primitives will have no warning." "Excellent. Begin bombardment protocols. I want this clean and efficient." As the fleet traveled, Thexus reviewed intelligence on humanity. He saw the wars, the weapons, the violence. But where others saw danger, he saw only primitives who hadn't learned their place. He didn't watch the other recordings, humans who'd been tortured for days without breaking, sieges where starving defenders fought to the last person, soldiers holding positions against impossible odds simply because they'd been told to hold. If he had, he might have hesitated. humanity prepares. While Kelvar had observed Earth, Earth had observed Kelvar's ship. Human scientists worked around the clock analyzing every signal, every emission. Human hackers probed communication systems for weaknesses. Human engineers designed weapons based on principles they barely understood. And human soldiers trained for a war unlike they'd ever fought. Secretary General Okonkwo held secret meetings with military leaders worldwide. "We have perhaps a year before they return," she said. "What can we do in that time?" "We can't match their technology," General Park of Korea admitted, "but we can prepare, we can hide, we can make them pay for every inch of space." "They expect us to surrender or die quickly," added General Silva of Brazil. "They don't expect resistance. That's their weakness." "They've never fought humans before," said General Adebayo of Nigeria, a grim smile on his face. "They don't know what we're capable of when cornered." Around the world, humanity prepared. Car factories built weapons, physicists studied alien shields, corporate hackers probed alien networks, and deep in billions of human hearts, something ancient stirred, something that slept during peace, something that remembered the thrill of the hunt, the rush of battle, the satisfaction of destroying an enemy. The battle begins. When the Purification Fleet entered the Sol system, humanity was waiting. Fleet Commander Thexus stood on his flagship's command deck, watching Earth grow larger on his view screen. Status report. All 10,000 ships in formation, weapons charged, no enemy vessels detected. Thexus allowed himself satisfaction. This would be the easiest purge in history. Move into bombardment position. Halfway to Earth, the first ship went dark, a small cruiser on the outer edge. One moment operational, the next, every light out, drifting dead. "What happened?" Thexus demanded. "Unknown, Commander. Complete system failure. No weapon signatures detected." Before anyone could respond, 3 more ships went dark, then 10, then 50. "We're under attack," someone shouted. But from what? Senses show nothing. Thexus felt something he hadn't felt in 3 centuries. Fear. "Get me a damage report." The reports came in, each worse than the last. Over 1,000 ships completely disabled, another 2,000 experiencing partial failures. "It's in our networks," the chief engineer reported, trembling. "Something is spreading through our communication links. We've never seen anything like it." "Cut the links, isolate infected vessels." "But we can't, Commander. The infection is everywhere. It's like it was designed specifically for our systems." On Earth, in a basement in California, 29-year-old hacker Marcus Chen leaned back and grinned. Around him, dozens of others worked frantically. "Phase 1 complete," he announced. "We've got about 60% of their fleet." "How long until they figure it out?" General Park's voice crackled through comms. "They're already figuring it out, but here's the beautiful thing. They can't fix it without shutting down their entire network, and if they do that, they lose coordination. Either way, we win." Humanity had spent 6 months cracking alien computer systems. Kelvar's ship was a treasure trove of information, and humans discovered something hilarious. Sovereignty technology was ancient. Their computer systems, designed millions of years ago, had never been updated. They never needed updates. No one had ever tried to hack them. But humans had been hacking each other for centuries. The virus Marcus and his team created was a masterpiece. It spread like disease, hiding in system files, corrupting navigation, shutting down weapons. Best of all, it looked like malfunction, not attack. Then the real assault began. From the asteroid belt, from behind the moon, from hidden positions throughout the solar system, human ships emerged. Ugly things, mining vessels and cargo haulers hastily converted to warships. No shields, primitive sensors, crews who'd never fought in space. But they had weapons. The first kinetic round struck Thexus's flagship before anyone knew it was coming. A tungsten rod the size of a car, accelerated to 3% light speed, punched through the hull like a needle through paper. Admiral Thexus was thrown from his feet. Alarms screamed. What was that? Kinetic impact, projectile weapon. Kinetic? The Sovereignty had abandoned such primitive weapons millions of years ago. Another impact, then another. Human weapons were simple, chunks of metal moving very fast, but devastating. Shields designed for energy couldn't stop solid objects. Return fire. Weapons offline, Commander. The virus. The boarding. Captain Maria Santos commanded the converted mining ship Hope's Defiance. She watched 3 alien cruisers bearing down. How many shots left? 4 rounds, Captain. After that, nukes. Save the nukes. Fire everything at the lead ship. The railgun hummed. The round left at impossible speed, struck the alien cruiser's engine section, kept going through the reactor. The cruiser broke apart in silent explosion. 2 more coming, Santos said. We're out of ammunition. All ships prepare for close combat. Close combat in space was insane. Ships weren't designed to ram. There was no boarding in the void. But humans had been boarding ships for thousands of years. Hope's Defiance accelerated toward the nearest alien vessel. Magnetic clamps locked them together. Cutting torches began burning through hull. Inside the alien cruiser, the crew panicked. Nothing in their training prepared them for this. They were peaceful species, aggression bred out centuries ago. They'd never learned hand-to-hand combat. Humans had never stopped. Sergeant Rodriguez led the boarding party, a former Special Forces operator who'd spent 20 years training for wars that never came. Now, finally, he had a war worth fighting. He was first through the breach. Down on the ground, now! The aliens didn't understand his words, but understood his tone. They dropped, trembling. Secure them, Rodriguez ordered. We're not here to kill, we're here to take this ship. 15 minutes to capture the cruiser. Most aliens surrendered without resistance. They'd simply never encountered personal violence before. The turning point. By the time the first battle phase ended, humanity had lost over 100 ships and thousands of lives. But the alien fleet had lost more than 3,000 vessels, destroyed, disabled, or captured. Fleet Commander Thexus managed to restore partial power. He surveyed devastation and felt his heart sink. More than a third gone, another third badly damaged. He had to report to the Supreme Chancellor. "We have encountered unexpected resistance," he said, voice hollow. Vorath's face appeared, scales flickering with rage. "Resistance? From primitives? Explain yourself." "They attacked our computer systems, used weapons we didn't anticipate, boarded our ships. They fight like nothing I've ever seen." "You have 10,000 ships." "I had 10,000. I now have fewer than 6,000, and they're adapting faster than we can respond. Every tactic we use, they counter. They're learning how to destroy us." Vorath was silent. "Retreat. Regroup. We will send reinforcements, 20,000 ships if necessary, but this species must be eliminated." Scene of humanity's resolve. As the battered fleet withdrew, humans didn't celebrate. They knew this was just beginning. Secretary General Okonkwo addressed the world. Behind her, the sky filled with debris burning in atmosphere. "Today we proved something. We proved that humanity will not go quietly into the night. We proved we will fight for our existence with everything we have. The aliens will return. They will bring more ships, more weapons, more force, and we will be ready. They think we're primitives. They think we're weak. They think we'll surrender when faced with superior force." She paused, eyes seeming to look directly at every person watching. "They are wrong. We are humans. We do not surrender. We do not give up. We fight until we can't fight anymore, and then we find a way to fight some more." They came expecting to find a species ready for extinction. Instead, they found warriors. They found survivors. They found us. And I promise you this, they will regret the day they declared war on humanity. Far away on his crippled flagship, Thexus reviewed battle recordings. He watched humans sacrifice themselves to protect comrades, watched them charge into certain death without hesitation, watched them refuse retreat even when defeat seemed inevitable. He'd studied warfare for 3 centuries, fought dozens of species. He'd never seen anything like this. For the first time in his long career, he wondered if the sovereignty had made a terrible mistake. His last transmission was simple. They fight like they have nothing to lose, because to them, losing is not an option. The message reached the High Council. It was filed away, dismissed as a failed commander's excuse. They would learn soon enough. Humanity had tasted victory, and they wanted more. The war that followed would last years. It would spread across the galaxy. It would end the sovereignty's 12-million-year reign. But in that first battle, in Earth's own solar system, humanity taught the universe a lesson it would never forget. That compassion can coexist with ferocity. That love of peace doesn't mean acceptance of oppression. That the most dangerous warriors aren't those bred for battle, but those chosen to fight for something they believe in. The sovereignty came to Earth expecting to exterminate pests. They awakened something far more dangerous. A species that had spent its entire existence learning to survive against impossible odds. A species that viewed impossible not as a barrier, but as a challenge. They awakened humanity, and the galaxy would never be the same. We choose to fight, and you should know we're very good at that. Secretary General Ayana Okonkwo, First Contact, Year Zero of the New Galactic Era.